welcome back to the Turkish Delight Show with your girl, Turkish Delight Sev. So, I got a juicy topic today. Topic is boring. I was about to say boring girl, you know. I don't know why that song come. I don't know why that.
It was the inner yarn started coming out.
I don't know why that song comes to my mind, but boring in the bedroom. Okay, so that is the topic for today's episode. I also have special guests.
Josh, what's going on, people?
So you guys would have already had a bit of information on Josh from last week's episode. And, you know, he's back again. Alright then, so let's go into this.
Let's go.
Boring in the bedroom. Alright. I have the privilege of having male friends as well as female friends and having an insight on both.
Both sides,
Yeah, both sides. And I feel like that's a privilege because I have a lot of guy close friends as well. And one of the things that seems to be like a common theme at the moment is guys struggling with the intimacy side of things. So like the compatibility of the intimacy that, you know, they're receiving. And, you know, some of them have even tried to be quite open, quite honest with their partner. Yeah, and some of their partners, they're not feeling it. They're not feeling the fact they're even bringing up stuff like that. But I guess my question to you, Josh, is do you think it's important for two people to be sexually compatible?
In short, yes.
In short, did you say?
100,000%. Once upon a time, I never thought it was that important.
Okay, that's interesting.
I never even think it was that important.
Oh, that's interesting.
I thought above like sexual compatibility, finding a good woman with a good heart, with morals and values, and someone that you can imagine building with, like that has to take precedent over. Yo, the bedroom is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But honestly, nah.
Wow.
Man. Because I don't feel like you should ever be in a situation where you don't look at your woman or your man and be like, like I want something like that. Because if you don't feel that way about your woman or your man, I just feel like...
It's like a lack of attraction, isn't it? I guess that's where you're lacking attraction.
It's long. I feel like if there's a sexual disconnect, the relationship's doomed. I genuinely feel like that.
Yeah, no, I agree, to be honest. It's interesting as well that you said that because, yeah, me growing up, I probably would have felt like the same as well.
Yeah.
Maybe sex is not everything, you know? It's actually about having a good man, somebody, as you said, that has a good heart. So mine are very similar to yours. Good heart, somebody who's motivated, wants to grow, etc.
Yeah.
But even though I felt like that growing up, I still did always, as a woman, feel like sex was very important at the same time. And I feel like as well, why should you have to settle?
Facts.
I've always kind of felt like that. Because I know I've heard stories, and this is the thing, not... You know, for me personally, I've never had to settle sexually. Yeah. I've never been in that situation. But at the same time, I've heard loads of stories where people sexually are settling. And I think, for me, I feel like that's mad because I feel like, well, why can't you have it all?
I'll tell you what's crazy, and this might just be a man thing, but what tends to happen is the relationship you have the sex you have during a relationship doesn't compare to the sex you have outside of a relationship.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
So, just relationship sex doesn't normally go off as much as just casually dating someone.
Ah, okay.
I feel like, forgive me, I don't want no trouble. Don't hit me up in the comments. I don't want no trouble. But I feel like women in relationships get very comfortable sexually. I feel like women have this thing of, my man is privileged to have sex with me.
Look at you sitting up.
And it's like, I'm not being funny, but the same way that you found your partner good looking and handsome is the same way that another woman will.
That's very true,
and
ladies.
I'm not trying to...
No, but it's very true.
What you don't provide your man, another woman will. And it just comes, it's as simple as that.
It's very real.
And it's the same on the other way around. What men, what you don't do for your woman, another man will. But your woman will never, well, there's some people that are just craving and there will just never be enough for them. But
that's very true as well. Yeah,
9 times out of 10,
their sex drive is really high, isn't it?
It's not even a sex drive thing. I think
okay.
That, yeah, cool, they have a high sex drive, but a woman can completely please a man, but at the end of the day, if that man still wants to step out,
okay, yeah, I get
that's
what
he's going to do. And it's the same for women.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
the chances of your significant other stepping out, if he knows, well, there ain't even no point stepping out, because what I got going on at home is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, so when you're casually dating, in general, this isn't just my personal experience, just in general, when you're casually dating, things are very much
spontaneous.
Spontaneous, and it's very much like we go to dinner or we go do something, and then we're gonna have sex, and that's just what it is. And you don't really have a discussion of like, when it's your woman, when it's not your woman, you feel like you can almost, well, not me personally. Let me not say me. Sorry. There's a few disclaimers, but I think in general, when it's not your woman, you feel like you can violate them a bit more.
Okay.
Like, bro, that's my woman. I don't really wanna.
Yeah.
You get me? I don't want to start saying certain things, but I don't want to, be too aggressive or grips her up too much or do da. But when it's something casual, and it's like, bro, I'm just gonna
just gonna do
some
your thing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna handle business and not think twice about it. But I think there are certain circumstances as well where the woman's partner is quite respectful, but she wishes he wasn't.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
But
yeah, that's true as well. That can happen sometimes. But as you're saying, it's just naturally. I think when there's that respect in the relationship, I guess naturally the guy is gonna just come with a respectful kind of attitude.
No, I don't think so. Don't even want to say that.
Towards his woman, no. No, I mean towards his woman.
100%.
That's what I mean, towards his woman. I'm not talking about if he's dealing with someone outside.
Okay.
But you're right. Like if it's casual, then it's because it's casual.
Yes.
It anyhow doesn't matter. You don't have to kiss her up. Anything, whatever, anything goes. But when it's, and then is there not the flip side of? In my eyes, I would feel like relationship sex. There shouldn't be a comparison. It shouldn't relationship sex be even better
I'll tell you what,
than outside sex.
I'll keep it real with you.
Okay.
Actually, I'll keep it real with everyone. I don't feel like you have a choice in comparison. Like,
what do you mean?
I don't feel like, okay, let's just use two random names. I got Alice and I got Dion.
Yeah.
If I've slept with Alice and a couple months later I slept with Dion.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sleep with Dion after Alice and then think, who was better out of Dion and Alice? Alice done this, but Dion done that.
Yeah.
Just naturally, I'm like, hey, Dion,
Yeah.
I can't lie, boy, the way Alice used to.
Okay.
And I might not be consciously sitting down trying to figure it out or talking to someone about it, but I just know. Like, I feel like humans in general, we try to be dumb about certain things and we're not dumb. The majority of the time, everyone you've slept with or anyone you've slept with or anyone that you've been in a relationship with, you can recall these things like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Not because, I'm still in love with them or I still want them or I miss their sex or whatever, but it was an experience.
Yeah.
Like, you could talk about your ex or you could talk about your ex and you could talk about him in a way where, to me, it would sound like you broke up last week. But it was 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. But yeah, like, you just have to be, you have to be real. Certain women know, my man, it wasn't really going off. But the other guy I slept with, oof.
Okay, yeah.
That's just naturally gonna happen as a human. But if you're completely satisfied, there's not a moment of, I'm 100% satisfied, but I was 100% satisfied over there. No, because I'm satisfied right here, right now.
Yeah, so you're just in the present.
This is it.
In the present.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
I'm here thinking.
As you said, you could probably still recall the type of sex that you had in the past.
100%.
But where you're at is where you're at.
Yeah, and you're like, yo.
Okay, that makes sense. But I was more coming from the perspective in a sense of like, you got that comfortability when you're in a relationship. Let's just say it's somebody that you're just linking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then somebody that you're in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
There might be no limits. Let's just say there might not be no limits
In the relationship.
in the relationship.
Okay.
Yeah. But you don't necessarily know the person that you're gonna link is gonna be on the same vibe. That's a Russian roulette.
I don't think it is, you know.
He's spilling the beans.
The reason why I don't think it's a Russian roulette, I feel like.
Oh, okay. Why they would know?
I feel like when you have, okay, not to sexualize everything, but I feel like when you know that you're attracted to someone and you know that you're open to the possibility of sleeping with someone, you throw out little feelers.
Okay.
Like, you might play like little innocent games, but you're making it seem innocent, but you know secretly, I'm trying to find out some information.
Yeah.
So I might be like, oh, like, actually no, let me not give out any of the details. You get me? But
Why not?
No.
Share one.
No, I can't do it, man. That's top secret. Like, I might say something to try and figure out whether you give head or not.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I get what you're saying.
And if you told me no,
yeah,
I'll switch off. I'll be like,
you're not interested.
I'm a grown ass people. What do you mean you don't? Penis. Yeah.
Look at the cameraman's face.
Now we're actually grown. Like, what do you mean? You ain't gotta tell me, oh, I love doing it. It's the best thing ever. Yeah, I would prefer that you said that. But you can't. At this point in life, anyone that shut down anything, I will turn off.
Okay.
Because my thing is, in terms of being in a relationship, I feel like, me personally, I date to marry.
Oh, okay. Fair play.
I'm not trying to date someone to potentially marry them when they tell me, I don't give head, I would never do this, I would never do that. I'm trying to marry you. You mean for the rest of our lives? I'm never going to get this. That's never going to happen. You've written these things off. I ain't got time for it.
So, interesting enough, that's one of the questions I was going to ask you anyway, is if a female wasn't being open to explore, you wouldn't.
Adios, amigos.
Okay.
It's like, I genuinely feel like, and I've said this isn't me, I'm trying to be so careful with what I'm saying.
Why?
Because if it could backfire.
Okay, fair play.
Comments are going crazy. I feel like life is too short for shit sex.
Okay.
Like, why would I be in a situation where I'm genuinely not satisfied by you? I feel like what happens in those situations is I'm with you for being a good woman, but I've stepped up because there's someone else that knows how to handle business. And I'm not condoning that in any way, shape or form, but I feel like there's a lack of communication. And I feel like what happens is we date incorrectly. When we date, it's like, in general, we go out to dinner, we go here, we go on trips, we da-da-da-da-da-da, but when do we sit down and have the real conversations of like, what does marriage look like for you? How many kids do you want? What type of area do you want to live in? What type of boom, 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 boom. Like, what is your sexual preferences? Because we don't have these sort of conversations, you end up a year into a relationship and then find out, and then it's like, if I knew this before, I wouldn't even have pursued. So, at some point of you asking the question, I feel like, as a man, if you ask your woman a year into the relationship, it's a bit hard because it's like, hold on, wait, I haven't been doing this for a year. Now you want to bring up...
Yeah, which is true.
Now you want to bring up not doing it. Now it's an issue to you.
Yeah, it's true.
So as much as it might have been an issue to him from the jump, because he never mentioned it, his woman now feels some type of way. And she could now be feeling like, so you mean for the past year I haven't satisfied you?
Which is quite mad and puts her
but
in a very difficult
If you're linking
position.
someone, like I said, you tend to play the field like, oh, shut up, man, before I da-da-da. Like, and then they'll say something like, oh, but you know that I like that. And you're like, oh, okay, that's a little tick.
Okay, that's how you man then be doing it, yeah? Ticking off You guys have lists. You have lists too, yeah. It's not just not just the women who have lists.
Oh wait, women got lists?
Of course they do.
What's a woman's list look like?
Oh, a woman's list is like probably this long, isn't it, ladies?
Okay, just give me 5.
Well.
Where
would I start? Like, do you know what it is? Every woman's list is different.
Okay, what's your list? You're trying to like dodge the.
Okay,
what's
list? My list? What's 5? 5 on my list. Is this just overall as a partner? Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to be
or
like
sexual.
It doesn't. No, sexual, because we're talking about being being satisfied. Like, this doesn't have to be.
I wouldn't even say there's 5. It's just my thing is somebody who's open-minded.
What does that mean to you?
Open-minded, like to trying different things.
No, but you know that some people have. I'm gonna squeak. You're trying not to. But I'm gonna. There's some people that.
Yeah.
Like, your idea of open-mindedness might be different to mine. So, a woman's idea of open-minded might be, like this. As weird as it is, there might be a woman that's like, a woman might say, I like my toes being sucked, and if a man doesn't suck my toes, then I could never be with a man that doesn't do that. But then there's also a woman that will be like, I hate my toes being sucked, but if a man doesn't give head, then I wouldn't be with him. Like, what are like 3 things that do you think, and not just you, like in general as a woman, what are like a few things that you think like no woman would be happy not having a man that does?
So I'll say generally. Yeah. So generally, from what I know from even speaking to my girls and stuff, one thing that seems to be very big for them is them receiving, oral.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you struggle to say the word? What was struggle to say the word? Oral.
Hopefully my mum's not watching this. But oral, yeah, definitely. That I think that's big on the females list. Knowing how to maneuver.
What do you mean, like
the stroke game? Yeah,
the
stroke game has to be very strong.
Yeah.
And I guess having size as well to them.
So this whole size doesn't matter, is that a lie?
What doesn't? No, I think it does matter. It does matter.
To an extent, or
to an extent, though, because there's some females that actually like a guy that's really small.
Really small?
Yeah.
Or just small?
No, small.
Really small?
Or small, because some people don't like to be stretched.
Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like that's, and I guess as well, even like affection that goes within it, like taking time, a lot of foreplay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, I hear a lot of stories of guys just rushing into it.
To it. Yeah.
Yeah. And not taking their time with the foreplay.
But I think there's like a difference between. I feel like there's some, like, this is men and women though.
Yeah.
There are some men that are naturally givers.
That's true.
And there are some women that are naturally givers.
That's true.
But I think it gets a bit imbalanced when the man now always gives and the woman always receives. But now the woman, as a man, it's so sexy to have your partner initiate. Because it's like, bad me up, like.
It's true.
It's not every time I want to come on to you, like,
yeah,
bruv, let me come home from work, meet me at the door,
yeah,
take my hand, bring me upstairs,
yeah,
obviously after the shower, have a shower, make sure everything's nice and fresh.
Virgo energy there, boy.
Make sure everything's nice and fresh, and then like handle the situation, because I feel like when you're, as a man, I feel like when you're quite dominant, to be dominated is very sexy. And I feel like some women would like to initiate but don't necessarily get the chance because the man is so.
And okay, on it.
Yeah, because the man is so so fooled with it.
Okay.
She doesn't even have the chance to try and initiate. Yeah. Because he's always, I want it.
Yeah. But also as well.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know, like, I don't necessarily think that's always just the case. I think sometimes women are just used to the guy initiating, and it's more of a complacent thing. But, if I'm honest, not all, of course, you know. But I do think that I think sometimes it's just a thing where they're used to the guy coming to them.
Yeah.
And they've got used to that more so.
But I first of all, I genuinely agree with you. But what happens in the situation where a guy is used to a woman propositioning him, but the woman's used to a guy propositioning her? Do we now just lay in bed just looking at each other, wondering who's going to make the first move?
That's true, actually.
You get me? Like, and I feel like, what I was saying before, I feel that women are very, in general, he's lucky to be having sex with me. He's lucky that I'm here. He's lucky that I'm... And it's never... Well, not never. It doesn't really tend to be much focus on him. Like, he's lucky that I'm even letting him have some sex tonight. Why is he lucky? That's your partner. Like, why do you not feel it within yourself that you want to do that for him? Do you get me?
And I think sometimes there's a lot of cases as well where some women don't even want to have sex sometimes.
But this is why I feel that communication is so important sexually, because what happens is, I'm trying not to, as a man, I don't know what it's like as a woman, obviously, but as a man, when you're doing certain things, you can tell if there's a disconnect with a woman. You can tell if she doesn't want.
Really?
You can tell if she doesn't want to do certain things. If you're intuitive enough.
Okay.
Obviously, if you're just there to just get a quick something, then you're not gonna clock on.
Yeah.
But I feel like when a woman wants to do certain things, like she wants to, it feels 100 times better than her doing something because she felt like she had to. But I feel like there has to be a compromise. If you're tired or whatever and you don't really want it tonight, well, not everything has to be penetration. You can just pleasure a man in another way, or pleasure a woman in another way, or just leave it and be like, look, babe, tomorrow. Or don't say nothing, just be like, babe, I'm tired or whatever. And then hopefully he's respectable enough. Respective?
Yeah, respectable enough. Yeah.
But respectable enough to be like, alright, you know what, darling, I know you've had a long day or whatever. And then in the morning he just slaps some head on that brother out of his sleep. He's not worried about the sex he didn't have yesterday because he's thinking, oh.
Yeah.
You get me? I'm not sure what that face was. That's not what I look like. But yeah, he's thinking, oh damn. But just communicate.
Yeah.
Like if you're not in that place right there, right then, because I feel like I've always said, me personally, I feel like what you get from a woman tends to be what you give to her. Like women tend to multiply. So if you give a woman a house, she makes a home. You give a woman, she makes, and that's what it is. So if you're in a position where you make your woman feel absolutely satisfied, absolutely amazing, your woman will do the most. You won't have to
100%,
ask. You won't have to ask. Your woman will do the most. Like there's certain people that will be like, oh, I don't do certain things. No, you haven't done certain things with those people. It's not that you don't do it. You just haven't met someone that you feel comfortable enough to do those things with.
That. It's very true, to be fair.
My thing is just that at this age, I ain't got the time to figure out if you would or wouldn't.
Okay, yeah. That's kind of like for you anyway. That's your... Yeah, that's... I guess that's your standards. That's what you kind of would expect.
Yeah. You don't have to love it. You just have to... I just have to know that you're open to it. You don't have to be like, oh, this is the most amazing thing. I love doing it or whatever. Just be like, look, I've done it a few times and I'm open to it. That's it.
So what about as well, like the fact of sex drives? You know, is it important that two people have the same sort of sex drive?
I don't think it really matters. No, let me lie. Let me not lie. Let me not lie.
Why men lie, women cry? Yeah?
I think it's a bit of a weird one because you could have a low sex drive and your partner have a high sex drive.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they want sex at the same time.
That's interesting.
So he could have a high sex drive, but on Monday he just wanted to chill.
Okay.
You got a low sex drive, but on Monday he was on it. So it just has to add up at the same time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think the only thing where things go left is when your sex becomes routine. When you know every Monday I come home from gym and then we have sex. and then we have sex on Friday after the school run. When that becomes your sex life, I think the relationship just you just end up being two people living in the same house.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Or like,
so what you mean, like in the sense of when you don't know when you're gonna have the sex?
I don't think it's a case of like not knowing.
Okay.
I think when it becomes routine, like for the last 6 months, every Monday and Friday we have sex and that's it.
Oh, okay.
Or when we have sex, I know, okay, missionary, then you're gonna do this, then you're gonna do that. Because now it's not the same sensation because I've become so used to it that it's just a bit.
Yeah. So what would you say is your tips to keep that? What would be your tips to keep that, keep that spicy, and like if there's anything that you was to say?
I think it's the whole making your woman feel amazing.
Okay.
Like I think that is the key to her doing certain things for you, because I feel like if you make your woman as happy as you can, then what happens is naturally she's now in a position where I want to please you because of how happy you make me. So I might not be the biggest fan of giving head or whatever, but because you do so much for me and I appreciate everything you do and the way you love me and the way you care, I'm about to slap something wicked on you tonight. So, and I think stuff like just not getting into a routine, not just sexually, but okay, I feel like it's easy to like you might be in a relationship for 2-3 years. Now you lot are living together.
Yeah.
Don't really go on date nights no more. Don't really go on holiday no more. Don't go on quick little trips. Or when you first start getting together, like if I don't know, say like one of them had a child.
Yeah.
The child's playing out in the cage for 20 minutes. Just believe we're having a quickie. when we first started.
Yeah.
But now the child's gone out to play for 20 minutes and we're both on our phones chilling.
Okay. Yeah.
Like you have to make an actual effort to keep your partner engaged. Comfortability is the death of relationships, I think.
Okay, hearing that, ladies and gents.
It's a big one.
So I guess it just goes back to as well the whole point of, boring in the bedroom is just about, if we was to conclude, it's keeping it spontaneous, being open-minded
and communicating.
And I guess as well, actually, with the communication, it's finding out whether you guys are actually compatible with each other. Because the thing is, some people like routine sex, and that's compatible for them.
Each has their own.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Or there's some people that like spontaneous sex, and that is what makes them compatible. Yeah. I just feel like, and that's another thing that is, just to add to it, that is also very important. Just understanding each other, and if you two actually, that connection is there. But yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying as well in regards to switching it up and stuff like that. I think is very important because that is the date nights, all of that. That's how you keep, my eyes. That's how you keep everything alive. So yeah.
And I think the last thing on the communication thing as well. I think when you're communicating, actually be honest in your communicating. Because if there's certain things that you don't like, period, and you never want to try and you never want to do, telling your partner that you do want to do it, and then not doing it, is going to make them feel some type of way. So just be honest in your actual communication.
That's very, very, very true. What if, just going to throw it out there, but what if you was, I don't know how to put that. What if you was just completely satisfied? Yeah? Then is there any room for improvement in that way if you're completely satisfied?
I think the reality of the situation is there's only so much things that you can do sexually. But what will never happen is you'll never run out of balconies, you'll never run out of places to do it, you'll never run out of locations. Oh, we done this when we went to Bali, we done this when we went to Portugal, and when we had sex on the beach when we went to here, and we done da.
Okay.
we had carbs. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
But essentially, there's only certain amount of things that you can do. There's only certain amounts of foods. There's only certain amounts of oils. Certain amount of toilets.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Depending on how open and free you are, eventually you'll run through everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's true.
But you won't run through locations.
Okay, I like that.
Do you get me?
Yeah. So, in the words of Josh, keep it spontaneous with the locations.
Come on, guys. Make sure the windows are tinted.
Okay, so guys, make sure you like, subscribe and comment. It was the other way around, but you know what I mean. And make sure you can't even talk. Make sure you tune in next week, Tuesday, for another topic.